a number of people were asking me if I could name one plant that was Oklahoma tough for the summer and had really good, almost four-season interest, what would it be? And the first thing that came to mind for me is Sunshine Ligustrum, or I say Ligustrum, you say Ligustrum. Whichever way you say it, it is absolutely wonderful in the garden. And I grow it in a couple of different ways. I like it kind of full and flouncy. You know, it can get to be 3 to 6 feet high or 3 to 4 feet wide. And I like to grow it beautifully where there's kind of movement to it, and when there's a breeze it kind of blows. But where I like to use it a little more dramatically, and that is when I kind of topiary it. Now at the other house I topiaried it into kind of a conical shape, and I used it back in the potager. Here on the upper terrace, right in proximity to the beautiful East Friesland salvia, this is where I think it really is gorgeous. So you might want to screenshot this image because it is just beautiful with the blue and with the pinks. It's just gorgeous. But I also like the fact that up there I have it clipped a little bit more tightly. So how do you do that? Well, as I've always said, when you are topiarying anything, you just have to be a little bit brave. Remember, if you make a wrong cut, it will grow out. So this one, and by the way, when you are shopping for yours, and I just saw a whole big display of these at my local, I can't remember if it was Lowe's or Home Depot, but they had some gorgeous specimens. And what you want to do is kind of buy one that's already assuming the shape that you want. So if you want it to be tall and flouncy, buy one that's kind of already assuming that shape. But if you're like me, and a lot of times you are clipping and pruning them into more of a spherical form or kind of a smushed spherical form, kind of like a pancake form, then buy it as close to that shape as possible. So you can do this in a number of different ways, you guys. I sometimes just use scissors, and you can do that because when the new growth comes out, it is very tender. It is very easy to clip. You don't have to have any special tools whatsoever, just an inexpensive pair of shears that you use just for that purpose. And sometimes after it's already in place and I'm just trying to kind of clip it to keep it within that globular form, then I use scissors. When I'm first establishing the form, then I might want to use some long-handled pruners. And you guys know I have two favorites. This is my long-bladed, I should say, Barnell pear. And that's hard to say. That's hard for me to say. And I can definitely use these. And I kind of start at the top and I work my way down. Sometimes when I'm pruning them before they get in the ground, these are almost a little too long. And in that case, I might use these Okasuni pruners because they're not quite as long. And when I'm working on a table or something, they're a little bit more manageable in size. And typically, you know, when I do this, it's a no-brainer. It's common sense. Most of gardening is common sense. I try to have something underneath to catch my clippings. And then you just go around the perimeter. This is easy, but the difference between the before and after, I think, is pretty amazing. And the thing is that this ligustrum it's hardy all the way down to zone 6. So my family in Indiana was asking me if they can grow it, and I said, oh yes, I think you can grow it. And especially now with every place getting a little bit hotter, look to a lot of the plants that have historically just been for the South, and most of them, and certainly most of them in the Southern Living Plant Collection would fall into that category. So I just try to get as much symmetry as possible. And by the way, if you want to take some of those clippings and use them somehow in sweet, tiny little bouquets, they would be perfect for spring, perfect for Easter, without much fuss at all. And when you have these established in your garden, not only that, you're just pruning from your own landscape, and it's an inexpensive way to make lots of tiny bouquets. So there you go. Here is a gift that keeps on giving through the seasons in containers. And by the way, it does brilliantly in containers. I have even planted it in window boxes before. It looks great in kind of an urn where you've got this tight spherical form and then cascading around the edge and down the sides. You could have some kind of seasonal color. I think it would be fabulous with some kind of cascading calibrachoa or million bells in red or in purple. I think that would be fabulous. Scaviola and that wonderful periwinkle blue purple would be great. So it's just kind of how do you like to play with your Crayola color box. So there you go.